Alola!
Alola, Pokemon trainers!
Alola, Pokemon trainers!
We are back with another Pokemoncy pack opening.
That's right! And for those of you who aren't aware what a Pokemoncy pack opening is it's a psychic reading through ripping a pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip the pack, put all the cards down. You come up with your numbers between 1 and 11. Gym Leader Zuby will take us through a short meditational exercise where you can allow the numbers to come to you. And then we will pick the cards one by one, and those messages are for you. And then, of course, at the end, we are going to be doing some free personal readings for all attendees. So if you are interested in asking a specific question, or you want to pick a topic, or you just want to see what the Pokeverse has for you, what messages are for you, then you can go ahead and do that. And so stay tuned till the end.
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and start with our breathing exercises to just get loose and limber. If you're laying down, sitting, if you're driving, do not do this. But if you are in a safe, comfortable space, just go ahead and close your eyes and just focus on my voice. Feeling more grounded with the surface beneath you. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, just release your day, what you have to do after this, and just really be here right now with us, the spiritual gym leaders. And then we're going to call upon Ho-Oh's light to cover us, and take a moment to feel how this light is around you. We're going to breathe this light in, hold, and as you breathe out, releasing expectations, allow the numbers to come to you at this time. And one more deep breath in, pulling it down to the base of your spine, and as you breathe out, feeling more grounded and into Mother Earth. As we thank Ho-Oh's lights, and making your way back into your body, back into the space, and back at it again with this Pokemoncy pack opening. Welcome back. Let us know what numbers you picked in the comment section and how you felt tapping into Ho-Oh's light. How was it compared to the other videos and the other light that we have bathed ourselves in? I'd love to know more.
Yeah, that was really beautiful, especially because Ho-Oh comes when, right, Ho-Oh came to Ash when Ash was beginning his journey as a Pokemon trainer, and so that was really beautiful. For me, it felt like a golden light, and then I saw a rainbow, and maybe that was the rainbow wing of Ho-Oh.
Yeah, I saw like Ho-Oh's feathers. It like formed into like a ball all around, so it was like the feathers here and then the feathers like that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah, because in the games you get one of Ho-Oh's feather and it's called Rainbow Wing. And you need it to get somewhere. I forget exactly what it is. It's been so long. But that was in gold. And they say that Ho-Oh comes to pure-hearted trainers. So if you saw Ho-Oh, then you already know that your heart is pure. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to be opening our Pokemoncy pack opening. And if you are interested in a private reading, you can book that at thespiritualgymleaders.com. And remember, we also have an assortment of other amazing things. We have our Pokemon prayer candles, our Pokemon jewelry that Zuby makes. We have Squirtles, Staryus, Starmies in stock. Is there any other in stock? But Zuby also makes custom items, also custom trinket trays, custom tic-tac-toe boards. So anything your heart desires, and Poke ecosystems. So like energetic ecosystems with the power of your Pokemon that can do special jobs. So if you're interested in that, then let's see. Can we, yeah, I want to keep our little buddies in. Okay, some of them are a little bit off the screen, but that's okay.
11.
11 again. All right, so I believe I go first this time. Number 1. If you pick number 1, then this is for you. We have Relor using Collect. So with Relor using Collect, so Relor is like the dung beetle Pokemon. So I feel like there's been a lot of shit. There's been a lot of shit that has been collecting around you, and it feels like it's been rolling. The mythological history of the dung beetle is that it rolls up the dung and it brings it to the highest peak of the mountain, I think, and then it covers the sun. And it's very interesting because that is the energy of the eclipse, and we're recording this on the day of the lunar eclipse, and then we're going to have a solar eclipse on September 21st. So it definitely feels like eclipse vibes. It feels like you've been dealing with shit for a very, very long time, and again, it's been like a battle uphill for quite some time. It says it rolls its mud ball around while the energy it needs for evolution matures. Eventually, the time comes for it to evolve. Yeah, so again, you have been dealing with all this shit, rolling this mud ball, right? But traditionally it is dung. And you have been, while you've been doing these things, and even though it maybe it felt like the energy, like you were kind of going against gravity, again, energy battle uphill type thing, you have been collecting the energy necessary for your evolution. And the time has come for you to evolve. It is now. This is the time.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry. Well, it looks like Celebi is literally pointing to the next one. Thank you, Celebi. You're welcome. Right. All right. Number 2. If you chose numero dos, we have Metacham here. All right, Metacham. It literally looks like Metacham is working out on a lily pad almost, which is really cool. I've always wanted to lay in a giant lily pad. Harmonious Spirit Palm. Through yoga training, it gains the psychic power to predict its foe's next move. So even though it kind of looks like it's laying on this lily pad, it is kind of working out. So kind of moving the hips, I feel like. And, you know, yoga is really great for flexibility and moving energy, right? If we look back into ancient times of what yoga really is, now it's like more so a very zen practice, or just doing it, you know, for flexibility and mobility, but it's also very spiritual within nature. So while you are moving and doing these very specific poses, you're going to be activating your psychic body and kind of strengthening it as well. Because as you move through the body, you're going to kind of release energy. And as you're releasing energy, you're able to receive more information. So it's very interesting. What I'm also getting is, even though, right, it's surrounded by water, like, and psychic energy is very much fluid. It is almost like liquid. You're being asked to be grounded and kind of being not really deep into the waters, not deep into your own emotions. And that's kind of like where you have to be psychically at this time, not super engulfed in it, but being very grounded. This is a very much a balancing act between being grounded, moving your body, a lot of physical things, and bringing spirituality back into the physical realm, back into your physical senses. And yeah, through movement and training. And it's going to be very harmonious. I'm also getting, if you've been feeling like getting a palmistry reading, this is your sign and indication. Maybe it's time for you to either do that again, because our lines do change as well. So yeah, this is a message to get that palm reading.
Okay, and number 3. Oh, it's so funny. Dwebble using Ascension, and it's a hollow. Is it Master Ball? No, it's a hollow. So Dwebble using Ascension, number 3. And I'm laughing because right before we started this reading, I was talking about Ascension symptoms, and I usually never get headaches, and I tend to dislike when people say like, oh, Ascension symptoms are pain related, but I had like a little bit of a headache right here. So if you have a headache, just know it's okay. Sometimes things move through the body in order to help you ascend. But regardless, we have Dwebble using ascension. So clearly you are going through some sort of ascension, especially if you pick number 1. I feel like this has a lot to do with your heart chakra and the way that you are giving and receiving love, and also access to abundance is what I'm hearing. And with Dwebble, right, he's a little hermit crab, but he uses like a rock as his shell. So I feel like the way that you are ascending is that you are so solid. Like you feel at home in your body. You feel at home within yourself to the point where you're unmovable. This is like very ascended and evolved type Cancerian energy. So maybe you have a lot of Cancer energy in your astrology chart. It says, it first tries to find a rock to live in, but if there are no suitable rocks to be found, Dwebble may move into the ports of a hippowdon. Interesting. So this talks about, you know, finding places to live in. So I feel like there's this energy of like looking for a new place to live. Maybe you are meant to move to a different location. And it's talking about if it can't find a suitable rock, it goes into the ports of hippowdon, which I had no idea. So it will actually go inside of a hippowdon, which is hippo spirit. Hippo spirit is very strong, very aggressive. And so it's kind of giving me this energy of like, maybe you, in terms of like moving and locations, maybe you couldn't find the rock that you really wanted. So you settled for kind of living in a situation that might not be ideal, and maybe you are still looking for your rock. So if that is your situation, just know that this rock that you're meant to live inside of is still out there. And be careful of the hippowdon that's around, because hippos are known for being like, yeah, extremely violent, and they can be associated with anger and things like that. So just be mindful of where you're making your home. And again, just know that that rock that is meant to be your home is definitely out there.
All right, and number 4, if you chose number 4, I am going to do this. 4, we have Misty Staryu. Ooh, and it's at the gym, Coliseum, as well, Bubble Beam. All right, it says, fish Pokemon nibble at it, but Staryu isn't bothered. Its body regenerates quickly, even if parts of it is completely torn off. Whoa, I didn't know that about Staryu.
I didn't know that either.
So very interesting. Okay, so first we're gonna look at the imagery of it, and as we could see, it's at a gym, but I'm also getting this is very luxurious spa system. So if you feel like fishes or people, fishes and beachies are nibbling at you and kind of tearing you apart in some way, go to a spa to rejuvenate yourself, and kind of going to a gym, right, to replenish yourself and replenish your system. I feel like this energy is nibbling at your emotional body. I feel like there are different people, places, and things nibbling at you, and you've kind of grown accustomed to it. It does say, yeah, like just because people are nibbling at you, you're not bothered by it, right? And even if people are tearing you or ripping you a new one, like you don't care. Like it's almost like people feed off of your energy or feed off of your emotional reactions and stuff, and now you're very unbothered. And at that point where you are unbothered, right, if they're kind of just pulling it and taking your energy, you're like, whatever, I don't care, because I know that I can, like, it's kind of like life force energy. Just because they take doesn't mean you're depleted. You can regenerate and resurface yourself. But what I am getting is just because you are very strong and you've dealt with a lot of stuff doesn't mean like you should just let anybody nibble and take from you, right? So having better boundaries is going to be very much important. But I am getting, yeah, like, it doesn't matter who has taken from you, you will be replenished and you will regrow like very fast. So whatever's taken from you, just know that it's going to be very fast. If whatever it is that was taken to be coming back, whether it's your energy, resources, your time, money, whatever it might be, it's going to be, regenerating.
Yeah, regenerative.
Okay, words.
And welcome. Hi, Juniper, and welcome other viewer. So we're doing the Pokemoncy pack opening. We just finished number 4. So whatever numbers between 1 and 11 that you choose are for you. If you feel called to 1 through 4, you can watch it on the replay. But if you want to intuitively choose your number between 5 and 11, you can drop it in the comments. And of course, we are going to be doing our free personal readings at the end. So stick around if you have a specific question or topic. All right, so number 5, for those who picked number 5, let's see. We have Team Rocket's Meowth. Meowth, that's right. Okay, so I'm definitely picking up on some money energy here since Meowth is a money cat, and Team Rocket, right? It's like a legal organization type thing. So there can be this energy of thinking that the only way to make money is by doing something bad or doing something wrong or getting it in some sort of way that is not, I'm hearing like immoral, maybe not necessarily illegal, but there's definitely some sort of like, I'm going to say subjective reality in regards to money here. And it's using pocket pilfer. Okay, so yeah, this is like pickpocket type energy. So there can be this, again, like, right, taking something from someone is not necessarily immoral. Or sorry, I guess maybe it is, maybe it's not, right? But it depends, I guess, on the pocket that you're picking. Like I was feeling this energy. The first thing that came up was like scalper energy. Okay, so right, it's not illegal to buy Pokemon cards and then sell them at a higher value at a show or something like that. But so many people in the Pokemon community are saying like it's immoral, so you don't do it. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. But with pocket pilfer, it feels like actually going in, right? There's a difference between doing something like that and then actually reaching into someone's pocket and taking something that's not yours. So I definitely feel some like moral quandary about money. It says, all it does is sleep during the daytime. At night, it patrols its territory with eyes aglow. So it's talk about sleeping during the daytime. So I feel like there's also this energy of well, first, let's say that money does not care about morality. So there are plenty of ways to make money in a way that doesn't interrupt your soul or make you feel bad or anything like that. So if you need to work on a program like that, please do. Because money is just energy. So feel free to hold as much of that energy as you wish and circulate as much as you wish without having to put moral stipulations on it. When it's talking about all it does is sleep during the daytime, there may be a connection to the money that you are receiving or circulating and connected to your sleep cycle. So there may be this energy of maybe working night shift or just like there's a difference between money you make during the day and money that you receive in the nighttime. It's a very weird message, but for those of you who are more nighttime, I feel like you understand what that means exactly. And then it's talking about at night, it patrols its territory with eyes aglow. So I feel like for those of you who have a cat, or maybe you have a Meowth plushie or a Meowth figurine, it's time to like give your cat or your Meowth plushie a job and say like, protect the territory, protect this house, protect my money. So you might want to do some like money magic of like protecting your bank accounts, protecting your space, especially your financial territory. So quite a lot of messages coming through there with Team Rocket's Meowth. So it feels like probably a lot of people are picking number 5.
Is that? Okay, I also got some messages with this too. Yeah, there's Giovanni here. And if we know anything, like if you guys watch the anime or anything like that, so it's very interesting. I was getting Jesse and James's Meowth, and that might just be, you might be in the industry where you're kind of doing the grunt work, right? Because Meowth and Jesse and James's Meowth, they do the grunt work, right? It does whatever. And then we have Giovanni's, it's Persian, right? Giovanni has a Persian. Okay. And that could just be also, maybe you work for somebody that's very suspicious and doing some activities, and because you're so close to the boss, right, you know the inner workings of how they're making their money and whatever, and maybe you might be having a moral like conundrum because you're like, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing the books, I'm seeing what they're doing, it doesn't align with me and stuff like that. And then another message might be thinking that all money is bad or all money is evil, because that's probably what you're seeing and corporations and stuff like that. But again, like, not all money is bad. And again, money is energy, it's neutral. So whatever level you're at when it comes to the level of Meowth that you're in, but also know Meowth knows payday, right? Payday is also like just abundance of money, wealth, prosperity coming in, like, and yeah, so it just reminds me of that one episode when they found out that Meowth knows payday.
Yeah, they're like worshiping the giant Meowth.
Yeah,
that was a good episode.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's what I.
Yeah, and for those of you who feel like you need to up-level your mindset about money, I do have a course called Money Mindset that is available not on the Spiritual Gym Leaders, but maybe I should make a derivation of it with Meowth, but on SachiTheSeer.com, and it helps you reprogram your mind so that you can have a better mindset around money so that you can receive and hold more of it.
All right. Okay. We're going to do number 6. If you chose number 6, let's see. Team Rocket's Porygon Z. Wow. Okay, this is a Team Rocket pack, I guess. What is that word?
Reconstitute. So it's like when things fall apart, like Porygon does that. It like breaks into pieces, and reconstitutes like when it comes back together.
Okay, Team Rocket's Porygon Z Reconstitute. An additional program was installed to create more advanced Pokemon, but it was apparently flawed. Porygon Z moves oddly as a result. Very interesting. So, give me a second. This is a very... Okay, so what I am getting here is maybe you have done something that you thought will help you in your ascension journey. Maybe you've received, I'm hearing very specifically, Reiki energy into your body to help you become more advanced right through your journey or whatever. But I feel like it didn't, ever since you've gotten that Reiki session done, it doesn't have to be Reiki specifically. I feel like you learned some new things and you try to implement it, but now that you're noticing like you doing it, your life and your energy has been kind of skewed in some way, and yeah, now you're moving oddly as a result. It's a very dark energy, right? Team Rocket, right? So it was false lights, and now that it's in your system, you need to reconstitute. So now you have to kind of go back and deprogram this. It's not that like this is it and that's done, right? Reconstitute. So kind of like release it off of your sphere, kind of unprogram yourself from whatever that was, and then like you can build yourself back up again. And I'm also getting this for some people, maybe you've had some what is it called? It's definitely tied to your nervous system, but it's not just a nervous system, it's your electrical, what is it, like your neurons or something like that. Maybe you've did some shock therapy, or what is it, the needles, acupuncture. There's something that you did here that after you did it, you're just not quite right. Everything has shifted. You can rebalance that. So figuring out how, and part of it is through your plasma. And you needed to do this because of the Z is the last of the alphabet. That's the last of it. I feel like because of this, you've learned the lesson. Maybe you didn't trust your intuition going into it, and something was like nudging at you saying like, don't do it, and you did it. And this is the result, but that's okay. Because again, that's the end of the cycle. Now you're repeating again, reconstitute, like let it all fall, let it, just release it, and then come back into the new cycle with this new knowledge that you have.
I was also getting a message that for some of you, this has to do with your use of AI and the way that AI through Gen Z is being utilized and like birth and the way that it's been used, because like AI does not have to be evil or bad or anything, but the way that it's being utilized is not for humanity's greatest good. So be very careful. And maybe you've noticed, like, as you've been talking to an AI or using AI as a helper or something like that, like something's a little bit off, maybe in the content that you're making or in your own energy. Like some people use it as a therapist and things like that. Like be very careful about that, because I'm definitely getting that there's some artificial like AI implants in your aura that need to be removed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is very interesting because, yeah, that is totally a thing. I don't know. I was doing a session. I don't recall what, who, where, when, but I remember seeing AI attachments to it and it had to be cleared. And it's, again, this is a new thing that's being brought into the collective. So obviously there's different energies on how we can move about it and have better spiritual protection when it does come to AI and all that good stuff, but also don't be super self-reliant on AI just because it's your helper. Don't turn off your own brain function because of it.
Exactly. Okay, that was number 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 7. Who chose number 7? All right. We have Team Rocket's Ekans. Yeah, again, Team Rocket energy. So dark energy here with snake spirit. So this can be some darker energy that is in your kundalini. This is also very scorpionic and Ophiuchian. So if you have Scorpius or Ophiuchus in your astrology chart, this is definitely areas of your chart that you want to focus on and utilize in order to help this energy. And darkness isn't bad, but you know, Team Rocket and Team Rocket's deeds are, you know, notoriously nefarious. So, and it says drag down. Yeah, there is dark energy that is dragging you down, and it's snake energy. So again, it's in your energy body, in your kundalini. And I'm also hearing that there could be snakes around you, like people who actually don't like you. Maybe they were born in the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac, but it feels like they are trying to keep you down. They are trying to pull you down, and because they're a rocket, you know what I mean? Like you can't trust a rocket, period. It says it can freely detach its jaw to swallow large prey whole. It can become too heavy to move, however. So I feel like this is the energy of like, when you identify these people in your lives that are snakes and things that are trying to drag you down, it feels like you might want to confront them. And it's talking about like unhinging its jaw and taking in its prey. So there's this energy of like wanting to devour them, kind of like wanting to, it's like confronting them. You might want to say things about them or to them, but as you're doing that, you're actually intaking their energy, and that's going to stop you from moving. And you want to keep moving, right? You want to move. You don't want to be dragged down, because it's that heaviness that's going to keep you dragged down. It's the heaviness that's going to keep you where you are and stop you from getting to actually where you want to go. I'm also getting that for some of you, the things that you're consuming, the things that you're eating, is also what is dragging you down. That person, that rocket might be you, and you need to clean up your eating habits and stop eating processed food. Stop eating things with dyes. Stop eating things that make you feel heavy after you eat them and make you, make you feel like you don't want to do anything, right? Seed oils, processed foods, all those types of things, or just consuming too much. So whether the snake in the grass is another person or it's your own shadow that is causing you to overconsume, it really needs to be dealt with, because it's really influencing your energy body.
Parasite cleanse.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
4, 5, 6, 7, right?
Okay. So 8.
Okay. All right, number 8. Aw, Shaman.
Oh,
okay,
awesome.
There you go. Great energy shift.
Yes.
From
Thank you,
that,
Shaman.
Yeah. Okay, we have Shaman here. All right. Flower curtain, right? Flower curtain.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We have flower curtain. Maybe decorating your space more with flowers, or I'm seeing like, you know, those like cute flower things that you can
Like garlands?
Yeah, like garlands and stuff like that to bring a more light energy. It says the bloom of, what kind of flower? What is this? The blooming of
Gracida? Gracida. Gracida?
The blooming of Gracidia flowers confers the power of flight upon it. Feelings of gratitude are the message it delivers. Very beautiful. Again, like I feel like when you bring flowers in, feeling very grateful, like gratitude, like again, if you want to move out or shift into a more positive state, if things around you are kind of like, oh my gosh, start focusing every day maybe on gratitude. And it might be hard at first, but at least pick like 3 things that you're grateful for. And then once you step in, you feel that you're programming your mind to see more things to be grateful for, right? And the power of flight upon it. Okay, so when you feel more gratitude, you're gonna feel more light, right? Because you're just like, everything's great, everything's awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this life. And then what you're going to be doing is you're gonna have flight, right? Because you're feeling more light, and then you're gonna be able to, take flight, whether it's a physical flight, maybe going somewhere, or it could be, you know, the own internal process of ascension and going inwards in your journey and feeling a lot lighter and getting to that next stage. But overall, this is really, shaman, it's a mythical, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So this is like kind of like, you might think that being in gratitude and having things be so amazing is a myth, but it's not, because again, you're programmed to see all the doom and gloom around you, but shaman is here as a messenger to remind you there's a lot to be grateful for. It doesn't matter what's going on in your 3D reality, what you're seeing in the news and stuff like that. Like you're like, oh, like how can I be happy with this? It's kind of like feeling guilty for being happy and releasing that. We need to anchor in more gratitude, more like beautiful energy here. So yeah, maybe also going into like the forest and seeing more flowers. Just bring more flowers into your space. And shaman also cleans the air, right?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah. So cleaning the air, cleaning the pollution, cleaning like just like this, like I don't know. I'm feeling getting more fresh air is also gonna help. And being grateful, like if you can't find anything to be grateful for your breath, right? Just be grateful for being able to breathe as well, and being able to, just breathe. That if you can't, like, it's down to like the basics. And I'm also getting like, we take our breath so for granted because it's on autopilot. We're just breathing without even thinking about it. So that could be your first seed, your breath.
Yeah, and I was also getting with shaman because it does clean the air. Part of that, like the air element, has to do with mindset and communication. So cleaning, again, this is like brain cleaning. Cleaning your brain to have more gratitude, to have more positive thoughts, which neuroscience proves helps bring more positive experiences into your life. Like everything in neuroscience and science in general is now proving the mythical, the mystic things correct that we've known for centuries. And also, whether it's a flower blooming plant or not, bringing things into your home that can help purify the air, like spider plants and snake plants as well. Okay, number 10. Whoever chose number 10.
Oh, is it?
Is it what? Yeah. Oh, wait.
4, 6, 7,
oh,
8.
Sorry, 9. Number 9. Sorry, number 9. Team Rocket's Spyclops. Spidops. Okay. Team Rocket's Spidops. Okay, so again, we have more rocket energy. This is so interesting. There's 4 rocket cards. Okay. So, and it's called Charging Up. Yeah, kind of piggybacking on the shaman is this definitely gives me PSYOPs energy, psychological operations by Team Rocket, by organizations that have nefarious intents. These can be, you know, secret organizations or governments or whatever it is, but there is a very real reality that psychological operations happen. They are meant to harvest energy, specifically fear, because spider spirit is associated with fear programming. So literally there are organizations, people, energies that will weave a web to trap your fear and create mass hysteria, create fear. And then they, because these people typically know, you know, the mystical arts and things like that, they are able to take that fear and then transmute it into another energy of their choosing, whether they want to cause more destruction or chaos or transmuting it into money in their pocket. Okay. So be aware of psychological operations, and you can tell when it's a psychological operation just by that. If it's infiltrating people's minds to think a certain thing, especially to evoke fear, to evoke chaos, to evoke control. That's how you know it's a psychological operation. And it says charging up. Yeah, so I feel like there is an energy of these nefarious intents that are charging up with fear programming. It says it clings to branches and ceilings using threads and moves without a sound. It takes out its prey before the prey even notices it. Yeah, so, and it's called the trap Pokemon. Yeah, so it feels like there is a trap being set based on fear, and it's talking about taking out the prey without even noticing. So I definitely feel like there is some psychological operations of like taking specific people out. So pay attention to anyone who may pass away during this eclipse season. I'm hearing like it's not a coincidence. Pay attention to people who get taken out, or people who I'm hearing like may look like they've been cloned or something like that. I don't want to go too deep into that energy in this reading, but I'm definitely feeling that, yeah, and it's meant to, again, bring fear into the collective in order for it to be harvested. On the light end, I will say with spider spirit, it's about being very perceptive. So the highest vibration of spider spirit is someone who is very knowledgeable about what is happening around them. Just like how a spider has a big web and it knows if something's caught all the way on the other side of it because it can sense those vibrations. So I would work with spider spirit on the highest level to be very aware of your surroundings, to know like if there actually is real danger versus something that is a fear program trying to harvest your energy. And also the highest vibration of spider spirit is a timeline weaver, of being able to choose your timeline and weaving together the fabric of reality of the timeline of your choosing, which during eclipse season, it's a perfect time to do.
Okay, then we have number 10. Team Rocket's Watchtower. Wow, this is very interesting. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this is tying into everything here, whether you're watching straight through. But yeah, this is kind of even tying in very specifically the 9, because you thought it was 10.
Yeah.
So, and it's a trainer. So yeah, it's a watch. Like, look how many watchtowers there are. And they're pointing, and it's very much surveillance state energy. Like, I almost want to say like police state, because it's like in a yard, and it's, as you can see, there's like, it's fenced in some way. So yeah, anyways, this energy is being watchful, like watching over the collective, watching over specific groups, as we're starting to see a lot more collective upheaval, just protests and stuff like that. So be very mindful that what you are watching, what you are also consuming, as well as you, the narrator of, and like perceiver of your life. Yeah, again, it's just very much tying into what Gym Leader Sachi was saying about, yeah, watching things and timeline weaving and stuff like that. And just don't consent to it. Just, you could literally say, I don't consent to being watched. I don't consent to any, just verbalizing it as well. Because again, you are a sovereign being. You don't have to give your power away to whomever is watching you. You're not subject to this. So anyways, I don't want to like really dive deep into that. If you know, you know, and if you don't, maybe this will trigger you into knowing. So
and it's also like, you know, with these programs and things of like surveillance state and all those types of things, it's really important to remember that divine law and natural law is always higher than governmental law. So as long as you are communicating to the universe how you actually want your reality to be, it will always supersede that. So for example, with the Team Rocket's Watchtower, if you do not consent to the surveillance state, then say that. Tell the universe, I do not consent to the surveillance state. I do not consent to my data being used against me. I don't consent to my data being used to make other people money off of my private information. Just say that. And as the collective starts to move in that direction, it is going to be reflected in the external reality. Okay.
It's also, I'm getting tower energy, like collective tower moments as well. And like collective tower moments being recorded and, you know,
televised.
Yeah, I was going to say televised, but I was like, oh, the revolution will be televised. But it will be. I mean, again, social media is now its own form of television, right? Again, television. So being mindful of that. And again, it's just tower moment. It's just happening. And just let it. You could be very neutral in state.
Yeah. That's a really great point, Juniper. Who stays in the tower and who runs away before it falls. And that's the thing is like, so many institutions are crumbling and we're seeing the fall of an empire, the fall of society, which get a Pokeball popcorn maker. We have ours, you know, watch the show, enjoy the show. Don't allow it to be a fear-based thing. Don't feed it that fear. And Juniper made a really great point because tower moments means towers are falling down. And people who know that this tower is going to collapse, some people get out first. They get out and allow the tower moment to happen, where some people cling on to a crumbling thing that is falling and then they end up falling with that tower. So if you can already sense what is to come, prepare, take aligned action so that you're not in that tower when it falls. All right, and number 11. Okay, number 11, last message before we do our free personal reading. So if you want a personal reading, start thinking about the topic or the question that you want, or you can just drop an emoji when we ask, and then we'll just see what message comes out for you. All right, number 11, basic grass energy. Okay, yeah, literally when we're talking about being prepared, that's exactly what it is. The basics. Getting to the basics. And this is not a fear-based thing, but if society were to completely collapse, which it's not going to, okay, we'll still have access to things. But if it were, what are the basics that you'd need? This is nature-oriented. Remember that nature provides everything that you need. Everything. It provides you water. It provides you food. It provides you shelter. So knowing these things can help really instill a sense of safety into yourself and your body. But the thing is like, obviously we're living in a time where, for example, you can't just go drink out of the stream, right? Because there could be something in it. So what do you need to make that water clean? Maybe you need a life straw. Maybe you need a water purifier, right? So like, that's what you need. You don't need a jillion gallons of bottled water, even though you could do that, but like getting the resources necessary that if something were to happen, that you'd be fine, right? And food, having seeds, right? Knowing where soil is, having a handbook about foraging, things that are basic of what you would actually need if something were to happen. And the thing is when you have that level of preparedness, you don't feel fear, because even if something's going to happen, it's like, I know I'm fine. Like, I got what I need. I have something to purify water, or like learning the knowledge of how to make your own water purification system by filtering it with charcoal and sand and things like that. And all this information is free on YouTube. Okay, so I feel like this is really getting down to the basics of what is it that you need if something were to happen, and then just making sure that you have those things. Okay. And even, you know, with the fear-based sort of rocket, whatever psychological operation sort of stuff, like, for example, if Okay, it just got wiped, so clearly I'm not meant to say that. I think it was a little bit too fear-based. But yeah, just making sure that you have everything that you need, and knowing like also that people come together and help each other out. If something's gonna happen, there are so many people who just want to help. So there's no reason to fear anything, especially, okay, yeah. So I'm also hearing there's a lot about the psychological operations of, like freezing people's bank accounts and things like that. Like if you don't have access to money and things like that. So for those who apply to it, take that energy and do what you will with it. But for those who you don't resonate with that, it's okay. I know it's very different country by country. But anyway, yeah, get to the basics and know everything that you really need, nature provides. So just have the information and the tools necessary to make sure that you have that, okay?
Alrighty. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning into this Pokemoncy pack opening.
Yes, thank you so much. And and we will be doing another one, so stay tuned when we let you know the date for that. And if you're interested in booking a private reading, you can look in the description box below if you're watching on YouTube, or go to thespiritualgemleaders.com, and we have an array of amazing items as we mentioned at the beginning. Hello, trainers! We'll see you next time.